Hello, my name's Chris, this is Blue Kraken Gaming, and welcome back to Satisfactory, where if you are enjoying the series, I would ask that you please consider leaving a like, a comment, or a subscription. Any or all help the channel grow, and they help get it out in front of other people, so thank you very much to those of you that do that. Now, in our last episode, we were starting to look at this nitrogen production here, because we needed it for the heavy fused frames that we need for, or the fused modular frames that we need for basically the next set of tech that I want before I get into nuclear, which I know I want to get into nuclear, I really do, but I definitely want to make sure I've got, you know, tier 3 extractors done before we get caught out with that. So I'm just going to give us some room to work with here, because I think we're going to need all this room. Oh, there we go. So yeah, we're trying to bridge it out over this massive gap in between a couple of cliffs. So then when I get round to, you know, filling in some walls on this one, we can make it look like the cliff is supporting the building. There we go. Right, okay. We're still waiting for the fuel one to come back. Oh, no. Fuel is done. Cool. So those bits are loading. That's excellent. That means we're going to have our heavy modular frames in here in a moment, because I needed those to build another port, because I miscounted entirely how many ports we're going to need for all the drone shipping around. Right. How are you doing on your fuel? You've brought some in. That's good. You're meant to be unloading. There we go. Heavy modular frames. Thank you very much. Right. That's not what I meant to do at all. Right. We now need another drone port. I'm missing the high-speed connectors, and I don't have them on me. And I'm pretty sure they're not in. They are in. No, they're not in here. They have been in here, but they're not actually in here. I've just had those going in the past. Let's get the power shards out of the way. Okay. That's not quite what I was hoping to see there. Sure, that means we're going to have to figure out a way of getting them back out afterwards. We're going to have to almost pencil in some space for it. Like, we can't, like, pop in them. Yeah, we'll have to figure that out. Right, so either way, we need blenders. Now, this shouldn't be too difficult, all things considered, because if we put down, I don't know, a couple of blenders here. You're making fused modular frames. There we go. And I want to bring some power forwards. And then from there, it should just be a case of we're going to want merger there, merger there. How many of these do you actually need each? Yeah, the aluminium casings they need quite a lot of, which I think's coming in on this drone. Yeah, that's the casings in. So if you're then going to be coming in quite fast, do that. The other bits are going to come in quite slow. So we're going to do that, and then that. And you're going to come in like so. It's too far. Okay, right. So you're lined up like here? No. Right, you're already back with more fuel. That's the line there. It's 2 up for a lift, so you're going in there. No! Clipping through a rock, that's not going to work. I'm going to have to do that, because I can't have that clipping through a rock. That's just not going to work. Right. You're going to go here and in like that. Which means the piping... I'm going to want to try and thread through the middle. Like that. Okay. And how much gas do you need? 37.5 nitrogen per minute. And how much is one of these putting out at the moment? Because these are all pure. 120. Fracking kind of 1%. Okay. Sure. Right, but that means that one should easily cover what we're looking for. And if I then put that there, and then we stick one of these in. Ugh. That looks, you know, the straighter one that I was looking for. And then curve. Okay. Do kind of like that curve there. So we're going to grab this. Bring you up a little bit further out. No, still can't quite make it. In which case we'll bring that even further out. No. How are you doing with that if I bring you there? No. Okay. Straight doesn't work because it's on an angle, which is why I think curve looks nice. There we go. Okay, so that's now curved. That should be filling with nitrogen gas. Yeah, there we go. And everything else is in there. Has this really been this quick and that easy? I know that's only 2, so that's going to make us, what, 3 a minute? Like, I feel we could put more. Like, we've got way too much nitrogen up here for it. Yeah. Okay. We are absolutely going to throw out some more, because we can. Okay. It does mean that you're then going to have that gun there. That's going to get taken out. You're then going to go into this one and then to this one. And then you're going to go in here. Right. Same with these guys. We're going in like that. Means we then cut that line, and now we go into that one, and into that one. Yeah, we're still using nothing there. Bring another power line down here. Grab one of those and put that in the middle. That's so handy that you can snap one of those in the middle like that. Right, and then we just need to get the gas out for the others. So that means you're going to need... if we bring... Ooh. If we bring this all the way down like that. Then we can put these guys in line. That, cut that off. Right, that one's not connected anymore. But that's okay. Because we can do that. And that. And then this one's got to come down here. And then we'll put another junction in on this one. That's too high. We went too high on that one. Let's check that this time round. Yep, that's straight. That looks all lined up. Grab the junction. Then we cut that off again. And we bring you up like so. Cool. And that should then get all of that going. Now you're putting out 120 a minute. You guys are going to be using 37.5 times 4. Have I got enough? 150. Not quite. Which means we're going to want to grab one of these. Grab that. That's still on curve. Beautiful. Feed that in there like that. What on earth is that monstrosity there? Okay, it's redrawing the curve because of the junction. Can I actually get it to redraw that more? Yeah, that's nicer, curling in like that. Okay. So that should then definitely have enough of all of those. You still need your modular frames to come through. I mean, that seems nice. There's a copper node. There's 2 copper nodes up here. Interesting. I wonder what they're supposed to be used for. Impure node. Okay. Impure. Okay. Alright. So we've got a couple of impure nodes. Sure. Right. But then, yeah, you guys are just... that says it's idle. Are you not getting enough? Let's check. I mean, that definitely looks like it's getting enough now. I wonder whether it was just where I'd cut it off and was mucking around with it. Right, but you've got all the fuel. Good. Your round trip is 73 fuel. Your round trip is 82 fuel. 86. Wow, we burned through a lot of fuel doing that. Yeah, I wonder whether we look at batteries, but I definitely want the other battery recipe. No ifs, ands or buts on that. I definitely want the other battery recipe. In fact, let's have a look. Can we have a look at the man? Because I'm sure I've got a load of hard drives down here. If we look at our hard drive library, yeah, we've got some... yeah. So we've got rescans. Let's have a look. So I don't care about that. Don't like either of them. Don't care about either of these. What else we got? Bolted iron plates. Heat sinks. Ugh. Okay. Again, don't care about either of them. Don't really care about them. Steel frame could be quite nice. Yeah, we'll take the steel frame. With these two, they have already been re-rolled, so I've got to pick something. So let's take the better smart plating. And bolted iron plates. I don't know. I'm going to take the radio. No, I'm going to take the bolted iron plate because that just seems daft. Right, okay. What else have we got now? Iron canisters or fused wires. No, don't care about them. Alternate cooling. What's the base cooling recipe like? Oh, so that puts motors in instead of using water and rubber. I mean, we'll take charcoal. I don't think I'm ever going to use charcoal, but it gets that out of the draw pile. Again, don't go about either of those, not when I'm looking for batteries. Crystal computers I do quite like the idea of, so we'll take that. What have we got? Iron ingots or Katerian computers? No. Ooh, instant scrap. What's the usual recipe for scrap? So that's usually 4 to 2. Oh, it goes straight from the bauxite into... Oh, that's a weird one. But I like it more than the Katerian wire. I'm never using Katerium to make wire. So yeah, that's a weird one. We might have a play with that at some point. Right, quick wire or cheap silica? No. Electrode scrap. So that's the alumina solution with... Oh, you've got to use the petroleum coke. That's 12 to 20 as opposed to 4 to 6. It is a better ratio. It really is. Because 3 times 6 would be 18. So you're getting 2 extra aluminium scrap out of that. Interesting. It's harder to work with though because you've got to get the petroleum coke, which you only get from heavy oil residue. Insulated crystal oscillator. Yeah, kind of. Well, I'm going to play with that. Right, what else are we going to have? Diluted package fuel, heavy flexible frame. That's not a bad one, but I prefer not having to package it. I prefer the unpackaged version. Speaking of which, absolutely snapping that off, because that then makes... Ooh, I thought we already had that crude oil into... Oh no, we've got the oil where it favours... Okay, yeah, no, I'm not interested in that. No, so we'll rescan that. They're both a bit naff. We don't need that much cable. I suppose the moulded pipe. I keep forgetting it closes whenever I go in. Right, inventory slots, definitely not. Stitched iron plates, maybe, but I'm not too worried about it. High-speed connectors as an alternate one. Yeah. What else we got? Aluminium beams, no. Tempered copper ingots, no. It's that polymer resin and bolted frames. I think we'll take the polymer resin just so we can choose which side we want to do that. Last but not least, bio-coal, fine concrete, no. Ugh. We'll take the bolted frame. Okay, so we didn't get the battery one I was hoping for, which is a shame. I was really hoping for the battery one. But it does mean that these guys are now done. You're waiting on your aluminium casings. That would be because I didn't actually put anything in for you guys, because that's in the wrong place. There we go, there's that. But then you also then still need them fed in. Did I do that on the other side as well? I did. I didn't feed it in. Okay. Well, I mean, either way, these guys are making the frames that we need. So, let's look at getting them back out. Oh, so, let's get a merger. Like that. Okay, there's that. You guys don't spit out that many. No, that's 1.5, so that's 6 a minute we're making. So yeah, we can absolutely make do with Mark 1 belts for this. Awesome. So yeah, then it is just that we need to get this all then done. Right, I do want to get Where are we? Organisation, industrial storage. I'm going to start. I've got to figure out where we're going to put the platform for this one to ship them out. Kind of want to try and put it there. I know what I can do to do this right now. We'll just buy some high-speed connectors. Because that's much faster than, you know, running all the way back.
Parts purchase confirmed. Promotion delayed by X times part value plus fix-it stock value.
Okay, now the problem we've got there is trying to finagle where we're going to sit that. Like, we could try and shuffle these all over, but I don't want to. That rock is in the way and so raises it up. Yeah, I think it's going to have to be over this side, and we're just going to have to bring the fuel back over here. So I think we put the drone port there. We will then have our industrial storage. Because these get used in construction, I'm going to put a dimensional depot straight on it. You're going in there. You're going to go in. What on earth are you trying to do? How is that not just a go straight in there? I don't know. Right, you're going to need a lift going into that one. You've gone sideways. Cool. We're going to need some power. Where's that power line? There it is. Right, so we're going to sneak that through there and then power that up. And then we need a drone, which means we need another workshop. Cool, there's that. And then where are we? Transport drone. And this is going to be fused modular frames out. Apparently I hit caps lock. There we go. Fused modular frames out. That is like the way we could just ship stuff in like that. That makes that so much easier. Yeah. And that's it. That's then just done. And we've then got fused modular frames on our list down here because they're coming in. Beautiful. Cool. So what does that mean for us now? That means when we look, and we'd have to go back to the Nexus for it, because I want to have a look at the next milestone now. Yeah, so yeah, that's fine. That's just Kraken Lake. Right, so I'm going to head back and I will catch up with you guys when I'm back down at the Nexus, and we'll talk about our next steps from there. So I'll talk to you guys in a minute. Okay, so here we are. We're back at the hub. Let's have a look. And next here, this is what I wanted. So we need supercomputers and pipes. That's not too bad, actually. And then actually we may as well jump straight into particle enrichment. And then we can handle nuclear all at once. We can just do it as one big chain. We can deal with the outputs because we can sink the plutonium fuel rods. I am aware that they are used for something in Tier 9. Someone has told me that, so I'm aware of that. But I'm going to start sinking them straight off. So, yeah, let's get this. And then we need 1,000 steel pipes, which we've got 600 in here. I think we got more upstairs though. So let's go and get those. Yeah, because, wow, we're... Is it really the reanimated Sam slowing us down there? That surprises me. Well, that'll be why. Where's the Sam gone? Why are we not having any Sam come in? Oh, we're going to have to go check that, aren't we? Right. Grab those. Why are we not getting any Sam? I mean, the obvious answer is because, you know, a truck's got stuck somewhere, but... where? Okay, so that's definitely not coming in there. What is going on? Why have we had so many systems that have worked so well for so long and now they're deciding to basically play silly buggers? Let's go have a look at this. Because I've got a feeling it's up here. Right, there is the tractor. What is wrong with you? Why have we stopped? Why can I not open the crafting bench? Okay, so I can open it there. Something has gone wrong with this tractor. Save pile. Sam run, let's do that. And it's just died. Oh, now I've got to the crafting bench. Okay. You're out of fuel. Right. Okay, well, let's grab some fuel then. There you go. Okay. Why is it out of fuel, I think, is my question. Because I'm sure it gets refueled as it gets run over here. Because it should be refueled as part of it stopping in this place. Okay, so... yeah, there's coal there. That is full of coal. That is full of coal. So it should be getting its fuel. I mean, it might throw a wobbly when it comes through now because I've put fuel in it instead of coal. So let's actually come in here. Let's grab some coal. Let's try and catch up with it, and if I can swap it out, take the fuel out, put the coal in. There we go. Yeah, and then its coal is full. Okay. And then off it goes again. That's so weird. It's almost like it lost its coal. Yeah, so you're not even empty. And it's not that long a run. Curious. Let me know if you've been having problems like that in yours, where it's just randomly, you know, stopped and like lost some resource that it had. Right, either way, we want to come up here now and we need 100 supercomputers, which we should have, because they're all backed up in here. And actually, just spotted, you don't have a dimensional depot, but we are going to want one. There we go, there's 100 supercomputers. And then it's 50 of the fused modular frames, and we have 8. But I think that's because it's going to be it's going to go into the dimensional depot after it's done the loading for the words are escaping me, for the drones. So let's just buy some so we can get that done. There we go.
Parts purchase confirmed. Promotion delayed by X times part value plus fix-it stock value.
There we go. And there we get our tier 3 extractors.
The Miner Mark III provides top-of-the-line resource extraction potential, making it even easier to contribute to project assembly. Project part number 8, the thermal propulsion rocket, is the most complex project part of this phase as it requires turbo motors, and thus requires your best. Fix-It didn't think pioneers such as you could get this far. I am glad we have both proven them wrong.
Okay, so turbo motors, which we're already making from... Where are we making turbo motors? Oh yeah, they do come in as this one. Okay. Cool. So we have got turbo motors, and then we can look at these two as well. We need turbo motors for that. Oh, we need turbo motors for Mark III miners as well, don't we? So we'll have to look at turbo motors next time. Oh, okay. I'm going to add that as our next milestone. But I'm going to wrap up here and say, as usual, likes, comments, subscriptions. They will help the channel grow. They help get it out in front of other people. So thank you very much to those of you that do that. Thank you very much to my YouTube channel members. Please don't forget that as a supporter, you do gain access to the save files for any of the open world games I'm currently playing, along with any other 11 blueprints, early access to the videos, and as I mentioned earlier in the episode, you guys are also getting the Oxygen Not Included series. Again, I've covered the reasons in previous videos as to why I'm doing that. But yeah, if you're interested in that, you can look at being a channel member. But other than that, thank you all very much for joining me today. I hope you have a great day, and I will catch you all next time.